This was fun, huh?
Oh, dude.
Okay, this so it's
You gotta love
Second time I've seen this now. I saw it in the theater.
It's
By
not.
the way,
it's
wait.
not-
On the outside, I want to say in the theater, it looks even better.
I can imagine.
So fucking gorgeous.
Okay, it's almost 6 months of the year.
cinematography.
This is my favorite film this year, hands down.
Dude, it's
just
awesome.
Amazing.
Classy, artsy grindhouses.
There are two
My
things
favorite genre of movie.
There are two things in this movie that I've literally never seen before in another movie, and I got to give it up to them.
Okay.
The first one is hucking a landmine at someone's head.
Yeah, I've never seen that before either. That was
that is a fantastic comedy.
Also,
bit. When
once
you just see
that
come
happens,
flying out of boom.
Once that happens, you know what film you're in.
Mhm.
Actually, stabbing a guy in the head, you know what film you're in.
Oh, that was, dude, the effects in it. Well, we'll get on it, but the effects in this.
And slicing the dude's throat and
breathing
air
through
out
it.
of his neck is so
I know.
fucking cool.
I know, dude.
That's I've never seen anyone kill someone like that in a movie before, and I was just like, all right, fucking, I'm in.
Yeah,
Like,
right. Pretty much
keep murdering these goddamn Nazis. I don't have a problem with this.
How did they do that head stab? I
Probably,
mean it. How the fuck did they do that?
Dude, it's a digital knife blade, and all it is the hilt and a little padded end in his head. That's it.
It's so flawless,
It looked
though.
amazing. I like his eyes, kind of like they died. You know,
It was so flawless.
Go watch. There's a featurette on YouTube about how they did the village fight in the first episode of The Witcher using half swords.
Yeah.
And you can see all the stuff that he's doing with the half sword, and then you watch it with the actual CG in it, and it's so cool how using a physical weapon that's been cut short and then weighted correctly, it really looks like he's just hacking these dudes apart. And it's the same thing where you weight the handle correctly and you put a pad on it.
Right.
He whomps the guy in the side of the head, and then you just stitch in the knife on the other side.
Right.
Oh,
Well, just before that knife scene, and this is like a close up of our protagonist. He has a pretty amusing Finnish name, but there's a close up. You can see eyes and nose real close up.
Oh, you see every single pore on his nose.
See dirt ground into his pores.
Yes,
It's like this is the filthiest film in that respect I've ever.
Well,
seen.
the
Everybody
attention,
need a shower, man.
the attention to
Everybody.
detail, the attention to detail in this film in terms of I mean the lead Nazi guy has like a tear in his like leather coat, and it's always consistent. Like they paid so much attention to how everyone looks and their clothes and the makeup and the blood, and it's all they're like continuity a fucking plus, A plus in this movie.
And
this guy wrote this film in 6 weeks.
Oh well, I mean, there's no one talks.
No one talks. And
Yeah, but you got to come
That
up.
doesn't surprise me at all.
You got to come up with the whole story. Like he got,
and there's some awesome. I mean, they're like he's making bits. Like he's like, okay, this is the scene with where he's under the tank. This is the scene where he's yeah. You gotta. This is like if Spielberg was rated R and better.
Yeah. One thing was it was all really.
I thought of it as Quentin Tarantino done. Right?
Oh, for sure.
But there's also there's George Miller in there. There's
Sergio Leone.
Oh my God.
Sam Raimi.
Sam Raimi. Yeah.
I called it extremely violent Looney Tunes.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And the whole beginning is just a weird take on There Will Be Blood as well. I mean, it's the same opening.
Yeah.
Actually.
Also, him not talking was very much like that. The opening of There Might Be exactly right. It kind of looked like it too.
Yeah.
Now,
dude, the cinematography in this.
Widescreen cinematography.
That's right. I guess he doesn't really speak
lens flare.
He does not say a word. He whoops.
He doesn't say a word until he puts the gold on that fucking bank counter. Dude.
And then he's like, give me bills, large bills, because they're lighter than this shit.
That's right. That's good stuff. I liked his dog. That was a very good dog.
It is
Although, hold on. Let me go back a second. I was going to say he's a very good dog, but the thing is, he's also portrayed as a real dog in terms of like when the Nazis go up at the dock and the dog just walks up to him like, "Hi, I'm a dog," and they go, instead of like being, he growls at Nazis because he can sense they're evil. No, he's just a dumb freaking dog. He doesn't know, So then it's like you're dealt with that realistically, which is like a big relief. Because they all messed that up.
And then tying the fucking dynamite to him and being
that
like,
was not dynamite. That was a stick. That was a stick grenade. Wikipedia is wrong. The Wikipedia entry in this film is completely inaccurate.
Look at the so for it being very slight on story, which obviously it is, but look at the shot behind Chris. He manages to work in so much cool shit into this, like femme fatale, like suddenly femme fatales with machine guns coming at you in a fucking line. You're like, how did this guy work that in this movie? But he did.
Also, one of the funniest bits is when she puts the brakes on the truck and the tank's cannon comes in. What
comes in
I mean, come on.
I laughed out loud. I did like that part.
Time. Hey, baby. Like, oh, and it goes back out again.
Before John shits all over this, which I think he's about to do, I will.
Oh, he's being real quiet.
I found this movie to be 99% fucking awesome.
Yep.
Except for the last 2.5 minutes.
Really? Why?
Really?
When the plane going.
Yes, the plane crash is dumb.
The plane crash is like, oh man, you just had to go just a little bit.
That's where you're going to draw the line.
Well, yes. all films are allowed one unbelievable coincidence. And
that was not a coincidence.
That's unbelievable coincidence 77 in this movie.
No, dude, he takes
up to that point.
This guy, you guys are in the wrong frame of mind. This guy takes bullets like Jason Voorhees, dude. It's not real. It's supposed to be.
No, when I read the
guy,
the Drew Magary or whatever did that whole like movies are supposed to be stupid thing or whatever the hell it was.
Yeah.
Like I get that, but there's a consistency of over the topness, and then they do that plane crash, and it goes from like
you think it crossed the line
way up here.
Okay, well.
That's
it's like
I when he was sucking the air out of the guy's slit throat underwater. That was pre-disastered at that point. So the plane crash was just like he's going to survive this plane crash, and the plane nosedives, completely disintegrates.
Let me back up. Let me back up what I said about.
Well, he lived because he fell into like a big puddle of mud.
That's the point I'm making.
The mud broke his fall.
Jared, the point I'm making about unbelievable coincidence.
And he tied
unbelievable coincidence to this film is the fact that the plane went into a swamp. That's
that's
the
coincidence. Yeah,
that's the coincidence.
And Tad, like that, tying yourself up to that thing before the plane crashes. That's like when the elevator fails. I'm going to jump up in the air right before it hits the ground.
Hey, wait, John, that actually works though. It saved a lot of lives.
It does not work at all.
Actually, what you have to do is
a great Mythbusters episode.
If you can, you have to make your body go limp.
Oh my God!
That's impossible.
This is the last film I thought people would be yelling about so much. They
drop an actual elevator with a dummy with impact sensors on it and rig it up so it jumps at the last second right before it hits the ground. Oh, it explodes. It
squishes you harder. I know that.
The impact sensors don't matter because the dummy literally comes apart.
My friend got into a car accident because he passed out in the car, like he fell asleep.
That's how you survive.
And he survived. The car was completely totaled, and he didn't have hardly a scratch on him because if you're limp, if you have not, like you just roll with all of the. That's
a real thing with people who are really drunk get in the car accident.
That happened to a friend of mine, dude.
So loose, they'll actually kind of.
He's like, I should be dead, but I was fucking passed out.
All right, that's so funny.
Now, come on, I want to hear more from John.
Right. John, go.
John, the tension's killing me.
I don't even have that much to say. I mean, it is what it is.
John hates fun. No,
John hates fun. It crossed the line so early for me that I was laughing at it more than I was laughing with it. I thought it was funny when the tank, the gun from the tank went inside the truck. That's funny. That was a good sight gag.
How about the guy gets run over by the tank and the two guys on the motorcycle drive by and they're like,
was that one of ours?
Yeah. Our guys.
Well, at first I was like, that's fucked up, but no, this is a war. They're used to seeing mangled people on the street. They're like,
basically, that's Hans.
That's another one.
When he stops them in the road, those guys do the right thing to get
out and run away. They're just like, fuck it.
Yeah, one of them throws his rifle.
I know, he throws the machine gun out and just books it, man. That's smart. They finally got some smart.
John, you're not a big arterial spray guy, are you?
No, and I didn't know that the extremely graphic violence was really necessary for this film.
Oh, it's what it's all about.
Funny. Like that's what makes it funny. That
That's what this is
beginning
all
of RoboCop.
about.
It's the beginning of RoboCop where Ed 209 keeps shooting that guy on the fucking table.
He's flopping around.
Doesn't get
Brutal,
funny
brutal.
until like 15 seconds into him getting shot, and then it's fucking hilarious. Like
This is
when you
it's just not
throw
my
a
cup of
fucking
tea.
landmine at somebody and it hits them and they explode into a pink mist and you see their leg pinwheeling through the air.
Right.
That's hysterical.
but it's done in
Or
a way that like
some.
it's done in a way that like like much
You know
vastly
what it was? It was the
inferior
lens
films.
flare, right? That's what you really hated was the lens.
the
flare.
lens flare.
Oh, I loved
But you
all
know
the
what-
sun,
but you
all the
know what
sun
the-
flares.
Well, why?
No.
Why? You know why the sunflowers like that all the time? Because they're so high up. They're up near the past the Arctic Circle.
It's
And the thing
This
is,
is Inglorious Bastards by way
that's
of
the
John
filmmaker-
Wick
Hold on, that's
mixed
the
with
filmmaker.
like
That's the filmmaker giving you a sense of place. Those lens flares
It's
were
with
telling you
Wily
how
Coyote.
Because the sun's low in the sky. Is that
flying
what
in the
you're
sky
saying?
all the time. Yeah, that's what I'm
no,
saying.
well, he's saying they're high up too, but
and it's going through a lot of atmosphere.
Yeah, exactly. So that's why it's kind of sunny looking.
Yeah,
It's
I don't
so-
know.
it's-
And as far as like being Tarantino done right, this movie made me want to go smack Tarantino for giving these people this idea to
No,
make
Tarantino wouldn't have
movie.
Tarantino would not have the cojones to make this film. This is a lot more like George Miller. He just went.
Yeah, it
just going
kind of
for
is.
it.
It's kind of
Yeah.
it takes pages from a lot of books.
Now,
Well,
also,
the
John, I'm going
Bureau
to
is-
back you up a tiny little bit, John. If this film was made, say, in the 50s, it was
Mhm.
the same story, and it wasn't that bloody, it'd still be a satisfying story.
It really would. It would be the same story. I think it would
Yeah.
be, maybe even the gags would work a little better if it wasn't so obsessed with showing gaping wounds being sewn.
I'm not arguing with that. I think
I
it's actually-
disagree.
I disagree. I don't think
also-
I don't know that it's necessary for the basically the gags, because this is a comedy
When
to
he's-
work.
When he's shoving the bent piece of metal through the wound in his side, I said out loud in my apartment, "That's going to get infected." And
Yeah.
what does he do next? He takes the fucking gasoline and pours it on
Yeah,
the wound.
right.
And I was like,
Yeah.
Dude,
yes,
when there's
thank
that
you.
other one, the last guy, when that first scuffle, the last guy after the knife, the effects in this movie, but he shoots the one guy in the chin or underneath and it comes out the top of his head. And that was, I was just like, holy fucking shit. Like, this is,
Then he
I
beats another
love
man to
this
death with
fucking
his
movie,
helmet.
dude.
Well, that whole conflict was just like, that set the tone to the rest of the film. It's like, this is what we're going to get from now on.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, who as a child didn't spray paint some rocks with gold spray paint?
No.
It didn't look like gold.
I didn't have
we
any
didn't-
gold spray.
It doesn't
No,
look anything like
Clearly,
gold. It looks exactly like the rocks I spray painted.
Actually, you want the
bank to say
Actually, I thought when he
That's
jumped
not-
on the,
this is
That's-
iron pyrite.
This is iron pyrite. Yes, exactly.
Wouldn't that have been funny
No,
if-
these are fucking rocks spray painted gold, is what they should have
Yeah,
said.
funny if
That
he
sounds
was
like
like,
they fucking.
that would have been funny as shit. It was like, wait, this isn't gold. And then that's curtain, right?
Also, by the
I
way,
kept waiting
two
for it. I
saddlebags,
thought of it, but-
saddlebags full of gold.
That's what would have been a good gag.
700 pounds.
Pretty
Yeah,
much.
right?
yeah.
But he's tough though. He's got Sisu.
He's very
Come
tough.
on.
Yes, he is.
Yeah.
Dude, when
But
that,
And also, you would never find a deposit of gold in the ground just sitting like that, like a reef. You would-
also like when the horse
zoom in-
exploded, so would he, but that was amazing too.
Oh,
The zoom in
this
on
explosion
her-
was
It was
interesting.
a good horse explosion.
It says
It wa-
horse explosion.
probably
gold.
one
That
of
was
the
one
best.
better ones. Almost as good as,
I mean, on the scale of horse explosions, it's up there. You
Yeah,
know?
right.
Yeah.
There's a scale of horse explosions. That was one of the better horse explosions I've saw. What?
I've seen worse horse
I've seen
explosions.
terrible horse explosions in movies, man. They're not try very hard.
The zoom in on her in the truck when she's explaining what Sisu is, I think is really cool.
Mhm.
Like, I think it's a really good way of doing that scene, like, because the whole world is narrowing in on her as the Nazi slowly realizes what he's up against.
Uh-huh.
It's just like he doesn't see any of them anymore. He has complete tunnel vision into what she's saying, and his buddy's just dead. Like,
Right.
it's just
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
shtick.
I also
Like,
love
I
the.
love the
Oh, the
fact
bit-
that whenever they talk about untranslatable things, I looked it up in a dictionary, Finnish dictionary.
Yeah.
And it's like guts, integrity. They had a few other synonyms.
I'm sure there's
No,
I'm
Jim,
sure-
it cannot be translated.
Did you guys notice that
I'm
the-
sure there's
the-
some nuance to that, but yes,
the
you're probably-
accent by the
There's
first guy who
nuance
gets
in all
the
words.
Yeah.
guy who gets the knife in the head, his
Uh-huh.
accent, he sounded like he's very Austrian. He sounded like Arnold.
Well, these are all Finnish guys speaking English, so it all sounds weird.
They're not all Finnish.
No. I'm talking about the Nazi guy. The Nazi guy.
Yeah, they're not all Finnish. Or they're
but
not
where
all
he's
Finnish.
like,
They're
"Is
German
that you,
actors.
old man? You give me the." He sounded
exactly.
like Arnold. It was funny.
I mean, there were a lot of Austrians in the Nazis. Like,
Yeah.
the head of the Nazis was an Austrian.
I liked it. I liked it. It was
Basically
cool.
Also-
took the country.
Also, talk about a counter programming to come and see. This is about an SS death squad, right?
Yeah.
What a double feature that would be.
I know.
Well,
It's
also
like-
talk about
You have to watch this second to get it out of your
Watch this
system.
second.
Yeah, pretty much. This would cure that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
this is also absolutely perfect casting.
Yes.
Every single person in this looked exactly how they should look.
The
It was like a graphic novel.
The Obersturmführer has the most amazing I fucked up look about
Yeah.
2/3 of the way through the movie, and it happens 2 more times, including on the plane right before he gets up and goes in the back. It's just like, I should have listened.
That was good. The shtick with the tying in
To the
Oh,
bomb.
to the bomb?
The Doctor
Well,
Strange
they showed the bomb
Fuck
pretty
you!
early in that scene, so you knew
Yeah,
something
it
was
was-
going to
Yeah, him
happen.
I know.
flipping him
It
off.
was, it was
Oh,
Chekhov's
yeah.
bomb, man. Chekhov's bomb. Come on.
It's got the skull and the
It's got a
fucking hammer and
skull and
sickle
sickle,
on it.
yeah.
So good.
I wish I had 3 thumbs.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But there's also
I want to take one.
It's
I want
like
to take
3
one
breaths.
second. I want to take
you
one
first,
second
then me.
Total
and-
Recall, baby.
and talk about one thing that is actually super fucking cool is that this character is partially based on a real guy.
Oh yeah.
There's a Finnish soldier whose name was Simo
Harpy.
Haiva, I believe. And he was a sniper in the Winter War. He is personally responsible for killing over 500 Soviet troops.
And that is the war that this guy's from.
Yes,
in the movie.
he was
Yeah.
shot in the face with an exploding round by the Soviets. His blew the fucking side of his face off. He had to have like 65 surgeries or something because he survived. They thought he was dead, so they just left him there. He walks out of wherever the fuck he is because
Where do you find this literature, dude?
He wrote a memoir back when he was recovering from his wounds. He wrote a memoir and then he hid it, and it was found in 2017 in prison.
Wow.
Holy
15
shit.
years after he died at the age of 96 in 2002.
Wow.
But
Whoa.
he tried to re-enlist in the military to serve in the Lapland War because he was so, and they were like, no, most of your face is missing, dude. Like, what the fuck? No, you don't get to be in the war. You goddamn lunatic.
But was
I'm
he kind
fine. I'm
was he
fine.
kinda- So he was was he kind of a badass? He was a
It's
sniper.
a flesh wound.
500 kills.
Oh, yeah.
By
That's insane.
himself.
All right, I got the next quarter. This was a scene.
okay.
Oh no, we go. There's a scene where the protagonist comes into the truck with all the girls in it, right?
Yeah.
And the one, our protagonist, the main girl, is looking at her, and I noticed that they have her hair draped over one eye, so you only see that one eye, and they kept pulling in on that. It was such a neat expression because it was kind of like a veil. And it felt like the veil was being lifted.
Looks like all the acting, all the
But
characters in this are
everything-
perfect.
Even the hair placement was just right. That's what I'm saying. It was just
They
like,
do that in Atomic Blind at the end when she has the black wig on.
yeah,
You
right.
only see the one eye on her with the black wig at the end of Atomic
That's
Blind.
our that's those MUAs, dude, earning their fucking money, dude.
No
They're-
fooling. All right.
So I was curious about where they got it was probably a Polish, it might have been a Soviet T-55, the tank.
But
And
they
it was
get
in good working order, but they were shooting it in Lapland, so they had to like transport the thing. The most money they spent was getting the tank up there.
Oh boy.
Sure. Well, the airplane was a Soviet imitation of a
It looked like a C-3.
It was a C-47, but it was actually a Russian licensed version of it. I forget what it's called, the Li-2, basically. It looks they're almost the exact same thing, although they weren't used for paratrooping, which is weird because the whole story was about having to also a bomber and a paratroop thing at the same time.
Oh yeah, good point.
maybe not. All right.
But visually,
I do like the pilot. He goes, "What's that noise?" He goes, "It's an old plane."
it's an old plane.
Well, later on,
No,
says, we
they're-
might
but
be in
like-
some trouble here.
Visually, this movie is, I mean, obviously astoundingly good, but there's awesome gags too, like at the end, okay, before we know he's actually attached to the plane.
I knew he was attached to the plane.
We all knew that.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. They have that rad shot where he goes, and they cut, to the guys in the cockpit, and they're like, where is he? Do you see him? And he goes, yeah, he's still down there. And you see the motorcycle with the sidecar going. And then what do? They drop back down to the fucking street or the road, and you see it enter the frame and it's empty, and it's just like perfect. You're just like, this is exactly how you should shoot this movie. Like, and then it cuts to him, of course, with the pickaxe, and you knew he was going to do that.
Which is another, I mean,
it's when he slips back and
catches himself again, right?
No.
This is the guy.
This is Indiana Jones.
This is a comic book. It's a comic book. Yeah.
This is the guy who made Rare Exports, and if you haven't seen Rare Exports, I strongly recommend watching.
Made another movie
before this. Yeah,
two. I looked it up. There's two before this.
But if you haven't seen Rare Exports, I strongly recommend it.
So,
it's a great
guy who plays.
Okay, I'm surprised that you. I'm glad to hear that you know that, because yes, Rare Exports was the first one. Did you know after that though, in between Rare Exports and this one, he made a movie, in the lead, apparently, I just saw the billing and the poster, is Samuel L. Jackson.
Yes, I can't remember what that movie's called.
It's
but
called
I read about that.
Big something, Big Time, or Big,
yeah, something like that.
Something.
I'm gonna check it out because I really like Rare Exports and I really like this.
Well, I'm gonna check both of them out because this is fucking
I was
insanely awesome.
So I saw the trailer. So I'm all, we talked about this. I'm like going to see John Wick 4. I'm super psyched to go see John Wick 4 because I love those movies. I see the trailer for this and I'm like, oh, John Wick with Nazis. And I make like, you put a bookmark on that. And then the bloat fest that is John Wick 4, which I really
they're kind of losing it, dude.
Not like. And watching this, I'm like, oh no, somebody realized that the thing about John Wick is get rid of all that fucking side plot bullshit and the
too much story getting in the way of the plot, basically.
Well, no, there was
that's why
story, and they started like humping their own paint. Like
Duck Soup is the best.
What they really care about is all the high table nonsense, which is bullshit. This is a grindhouse movie made with an art film sensibility, which is like my favorite two things mashed together. And I thought,
well said.
It was great.
When I saw the runtime was 90 minutes, I was like, let's fucking go.
Yeah, right.
Because you know what this movie is going to be. It's going to be 90 minutes of him killing Nazis.
That's exactly what this is. This is a grindhouse art house picture with cinematography. I'm telling you guys, I wish you could have seen it all on the big screen like I did. The cinematography is absolutely top notch. Absolutely top notch. The color grading is amazing.
Also, at the end, the dude went back to get the motorcycle and his doggy. He's a good guy.
Good guy.
Yeah.
When I link to a trailer in the fucking chat, you should watch the goddamn trailer because I linked to the trailer for this like back in January.
Oh, I did too. I put it in the post, I think.
Well, what do you want? A pillow for your head?
No, I want
he wants a brownie. I want a brownie, and so does Tad.
Oh, here's a hug. Here's a hug.
No, I want you to pay attention to the shit I'm saying because I'm usually right.
You always pay attention, Tad.
But then you do 3 or 4 wrestling.
I think I put this. I think I put this in the
post about wrestling.
I think I put this trailer in the chat too, mostly for Chris, honestly, like because I knew I was like the minute I saw this trailer, I was like, Chris is gonna he's not
hurt.
Well, it all worked out.
Okay, I put it in the thing too, but I did it for John.
Oh, and look how that turned out
to make him mad.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
John definitely should have watched the trailer. Then he already would have known what movie.
All right, here we go.
This is a version of it.
I would have skipped it.
Louis.
Way up.
Favorite of the year. Favorite of the year. Favorite.
Not yeah. I've been. This year honestly has been so weak, and this is definitely one of my favorites of.
Mind you,
I can't wait for 2 weeks from now. Some of you guys are gonna love the movie I pick, and some of you are gonna hate it.